Can you imagine being threatened over your newborn's cries, handcuffs snapping shut on your neighbor as she screams about HOA rules? That's exactly what happened to me, Lily Harper, in the quiet cul-de-sac of Willow Creek. My 6-week-old daughter, Ava, was finally asleep in my arms, her tiny chest rising and falling after hours of colic-fueled wails. But there, in my front yard, stood Monica Reynolds, the HOA president, her voice piercing the night, demanding I remove that nuisance from the neighborhood. As police led her away, her pristine blonde bob swinging wildly, she shrieked, "This isn't over, Lily! You're breaking the rules!" I stood trembling in my doorway, clutching Ava, watching her disappear into the patrol car. But Monica was right, it wasn't over. Not even close. 3 months earlier, I'd been thrilled to move into Willow Creek. A single mom, I'd scraped every penny to buy a modest home in this idyllic suburb, drawn by its top-rated schools and family-friendly VYB. The realtor mentioned an active HOA, her smile tight, but I was too sleep-deprived and overwhelmed to dig deeper. I signed the agreement, blind to the fine print, and moved in with Ava, my bundle of joy who, I soon learned, had colic. The pediatrician said it was normal, that it'd pass, but Ava's cries filled our nights. I was surviving on 2 hours of sleep, pacing the floors, trying every soothing trick, swaddling, shushing, rocking. Most neighbors were kind. Mrs. Alvarez next door dropped off tamales and joked about earplugs, saying her own kid had been a screamer. The Patels across the street waved off the noise, insisting it didn't bother them. Then I met Monica. Day 3 in my new home, a pastel blue notice arrived, stamped with Willow Creek's HOA letterhead. It cited, "Excessive noise, during quiet hours," signed by Monica Reynolds, her signature sharp and underlined twice. I called her, hoping to explain Ava's colic, but Monica's voice was ice-cold. "Quiet hours start at 9 p.m., Lily. The bylaws are clear. Your situation doesn't exempt you." I tried to reason babies don't follow HOA rules, but she cut me off. "Consider soundproofing. Or maybe this neighborhood isn't for you." The way she sneered. Lifestyle choices. As if I'd chosen colic to spite her, made my stomach churn. Too exhausted to fight, I hung up. The notices piled up. Every morning, a new complaint. Improper trash disposal. For a diaper box by my overflowing bin, unkempt lawn, because I hadn't mowed, unauthorized signage for the "baby on board" sticker in my window, meant to explain Ava's cries. Monica's signatures grew angrier, the pen nearly ripping the paper. One night, at 2 a.m., Ava screaming inconsolably, a pounding shook my door. Through the peephole, I saw Monica in a monogrammed robe, arms crossed, foot tapping. I cracked the door, whispering to avoid startling Ava. "Do you know what time it is?" Monica hissed. "Some of us have real jobs." Her jab at my stay-at-home status stung. She claimed 3 neighbors had complained, a lie, I later learned. Crushed, I apologized, promising to do better. She smirked and left. Desperate, I spent money I didn't have on soundproofing panels, white noise machines, even one for the neighbors' bedrooms. I bought fancy pacifiers, special blankets, a VY bratting bassinet promising miracles. Nothing stopped Ava's cries. Monica's harassment intensified. She'd lurk at my property line, snapping photos of my curtains, my doormat, Ava's toys. Once, I caught her measuring my grass with a ruler, while VYing it at me like a sword when she saw me watching. I felt like a prisoner in my own home. 6 weeks in, I hit my breaking point. My sister, Claire, insisted I stay with her for a few days to rest. When I returned, my door was plastered with violation notices, plus a certified letter warning of punitive measures for my willful disregard of HOA standards. Fury overtook my fatigue. I stormed to Monica's house, a flawless colonial with trimmed hedges and an HOA plaque gleaming by the door. She answered in gardening gloves, her wide-brimmed hat picture perfect. "Lily," she purred, peeling off her gloves. "More excuses for ignoring the rules?" I kept my voice steady. "Monica, I was gone 3 days, and you cited me for noise when my house was empty. This is harassment." Her smile vanished. "Harassment? It's harassing this neighborhood with your screaming baby. If you can't afford soundproofing or proper childcare, maybe you should move back with your parents until you're ready to be an adult." Her words cut deep. Speechless, I walked away, tears burning my eyes. That night, Ava was fussier than ever. At midnight, Monica appeared at my door with 3 strangers neighbors I'd never met forming a semicircle like a tribunal. Monica read from a list of complaints, her voice rising over Ava's cries. Mrs. Alvarez watched from her window, worried. Mr. Patel stood at his driveway, eyeing the scene. Monica ranted about property values, fines, even EVY tie-in. I was about to slam the door when Ava let out a piercing wail, and Monica snapped. "For God's sake, Lily, shut that baby up! You're ruining this community!" Then, the words that changed everything. "If you don't make her stop, I'll make her stop, one way or another." The other neighbors shifted uncomfortably, stepping back. Monica didn't notice Mrs. Alvarez, now outside, recording everything. Mrs. Alvarez called out, "That's enough, Monica. Threatening a baby? You've gone too far." Monica spun, leave UID. "Stay out of this, Sophia." But the strangers scattered, and Monica stood alone, fuming. I locked the door and called the police non-emergency line, reporting the threat. The next morning, Mrs. Alvarez brought the video, urging me to share it. "Monica's been terrorizing this neighborhood for years," she said. "She drove out the Garcias for their kids' basketball hoop. It's time she stopped." I posted the video to our parenting group, asking for @VYC. It exploded, shared hundreds of times. Messages poured in, stories of Monica fining the Patels for festive decorations, harassing another family over fence paint. Her pattern was clear: she targeted anyone who didn't fit her vision of desirable. With the video and neighbors' statements, I filed a police report. Officers took it seriously, citing Monica's threat as potential criminal behavior. 3 days later, I was feeding Ava when I heard shouting. Through the window, I saw police at Monica's door. She gestured wildly toward my house, arguing. A warrant appeared, and her face paled. Neighbors gathered, watching as officers escorted her out in handcuffs. She spotted me on my porch, Ava in my arms, and screamed, "This is your fault, Lily! The HOA will foreclose. You'll see." Mrs. Alvarez squeezed my arm as Monica was driven away. An officer later explained Monica faced charges of harassment, stalking, and criminal threats. They'd found a log in her home, detailing my every move, Ava's cries, my groceries, my schedule. The HOA held an emergency meeting, led by Monica's timid VYC president, Greg. They ousted her, apologized to me, and voided her citations. New rules curbed the board's power. A month later, Monica's trial ended in con VY tie-in, 3 years probation, a due law $5,000 fine, 200 hours at a crisis nursery, and a restraining order keeping her 100 yards from Ava and me. In court, her composure shattered. "I was protecting our community," she cried. The judge was unmoved. "Bylaws don't justify threatening a child, Ms. Reynolds." As she was led away, our eyes met. For the first time, I saw fear in her face lost control, and she knew it. Willow Creek felt lighter after that. Mrs. Alvarez and the Patels became like family, helping with Ava as her colic faded. But I'll never forget Monica's voice, her ruler in the grass, or the night she threatened my daughter. Some rules, it turns out, aren't worth enforcing.